Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this matter with it, and we're taking things from the Islamic perspective. And Nima was going to give us an example.
Yes. So a woman can have a career if she has that conversation with her husband, but she cannot then force the husband not to meet his sexual needs, which is why Islam allows. A woman is entitled to her own earnings. That's what Islam says. But the husband is entitled to 4 wives. Open your mind. Is this something you can handle? Me, I'm just being an Edo girl, doing everything and thinking I can chest it. But some men will find a way around it. I know someone who did well in her career. She got appointed by government. She's presently in an international institution outside the country. But she agreed with her husband. There are 2 other women at home. Her kids are well cared for. The other women have their own kids. This somebody must give.
So that's interesting, because in this woman's scenario, because that's not the issue with the Christianity and Islam. Islam gives you so many options on what to do. If for the Christian woman, you know that you're forcing your career, you'd have married another woman for your husband. You just help me sort out the home matters, raise my kids. You have another nurturer at home who is sorting out sexual activity and other room matters for you, while you are becoming HR in the bank, and you still have a family. So that's where Islam is different from Christianity, where they give you that option to accommodate your ambition and also to nurture your children. But many Christians' homes will never accept that.
I know if a woman is not
it's not within our the brief that Christianity gave us, the modern Christianity gave us. We all know that in the Bible, people had multiple wives from even New and Old Testament. Even in the New Testament, just pastors that were excluded from having pastors and leaders in church were excluded from having multiple wives, but people still do it. There are people in Anglican churches, Catholic churches, that they have more than one, and it's accepted. They would come to church. Baptists, they will come to church with their first wife and second wife, and they accept them in the church as long as it is not causing rifts within your life. But as modern Christians, we have now created this system of one man, one wife. But it would involve sacrifice. And part of sacrifice would mean that I might need to sacrifice my job. And men make sacrifices that we don't acknowledge enough for. Many men live their entire life for their family. Their finances prioritizes before they would think of removing clothes bill or shoe or anything for themselves. They pay rent, pay school fees, cover housing bills, take care of all the family members before they say, okay, now I have something to dress nice and all of that. And that happens on a daily basis. That's the way men are wired to think. We don't see it because we see it as a financial sacrifice. We don't prioritize it because it is not as their duty, so we don't appreciate it.
If women in this lady's situation choose not to be selfish, but choose the welfare of their children above their personal preferences. So because I want my child to be raised in a proper home, should I therefore be willing to allow my husband to have a second wife or to have a side chick? Because I want my kids to be there. So should we begin to start having this conversation? I have a career, because we go to conferences all the time, they tell you that you must achieve, you must continue to push for your career.
You will reevaluate your goals.
You don't want a woman to
you are the one that work out to the conference by yourself. I don't understand.
You will take what you want and what you don't want from it.
You work out to the conference and somebody is telling you what you should do. Don't you know what you want?
The reason why they tell us that, because there are lots of men who have abandoned women who did not build their careers. And then they abandon them with children. So they will tell you, you better have your own. Not just your own, have enough to maintain the lifestyle of your children.
So that's where the risk of the side chick is. If you say you want to allow him that distraction, which I consider a distraction, it might be the worst decision, because eventually you will not even have time for your kids anymore. And imagine the side chick that has kids. Even in this our polygamy that we are talking about, a small wife comes in, has her own kids and starts to cry every day. You don't have time for me, you don't have time for me. Eventually, you'll be like, whoop, this one, their mother who don't have time for them. It's a headache. Then your kids will be at whose mercy at that time. So this decision, when you're a mother, you have to think, as YK said, from those shoes. That child was minding the business with God. You say you want child, they come bless you, finish. You say you are too busy for the child. You have to be clear whether you want to be a mother or you want a companion. So that you just marry your husband and be companion. When he wants kids, he can focus on kids.
That's why I think we go. They decide not to have children. They will marry you. They won't have children. Everybody will be doing career. When they finish their career, they come and meet themselves in the house in the night. Do their business. Tomorrow, career. Till old age. There are some that don't even want kids.
Let me take a call. Mr. Ayo from Aguda, thanks for calling. Take a few messages.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. You're live.
Good morning, Morayo. Good morning, ladies in the house.
Good morning.
Yes, please, concerning your discussions, it's an interesting one. You see, I experienced such because my wife worked with the banking industry for 10 years. And while she was in the bank, I have a business of my own. So I'll be the one to take care of the kids. As early as 5:30, sometimes 6, she's out of the house. So I was the one that would take care of the kids, take them to school, take the small one to crèche, drop the other 2 at their schools. Even in their school, they don't know their mother. I was the only one they knew. I would go for their photo. So for over 10 years, I was doing that. But then it was a matter of we come together and discuss. Our own job was more paying than my own business. You understand? So we come to a conclusion. Even in the other room, she will have come back home tired. I will understand that, well, it's the nature of our job. You understand me? So we're able to come to an agreement that, okay, since you are busy, no problem. I'll do my own business. You do your own work. I will stand in. But the issue of the church she talked about, church is not an issue. Then she doesn't go to church. She will only go to church when she has done everything she needs to do at home. Put things in order, then you can go to church. I go to church myself. I'm a pastor. So that issue of the church, with most things ladies do in church is after the main service, you see ladies sitting around talking, gisting, and say they are doing one thing or the other. That one is not an issue at all. So I think it's a matter of sacrifice on the part of both couples, the husband and the wife. So when you come together and come to an agreement, then issues like this is something you can discuss. So to me, to my own point of view, I think it's the lady that felt the career is more important than his family. Definitely, that's why you have to sacrifice his family for his career. Thank you very much.
Let me take a few comments on social media. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo. Informer Eleni Toba Johnson said, "Good morning, Murayo. When you are big, and whatever your hands find to do, you will flourish, but priorities change per time. You can have it all, but not at the same time. She will not remain HR for always, and what she will come back to is when she's out of, what will she come back to when she's out of that role?" Another story here from Mr. Tijani, one second, please. Dr. Engineer Ajibola Tijani, PhD. He says, "A very good morning to you and the ladies. Honestly, there can never be a balance in marriage. By default, women determine what and how the home will be, and that is by their making. Even when the woman of the house is sick, she still finds strength to care for the family. A wise woman will balance her work life with her marital life. It is so skewed that it's practically impossible for men to make such a balance because of their nature and responsibility to provide as the head of the family. Had that lady put her trust in God with little compromise, there might have been a better way to learn." I don't know.
Please, I wanted to talk about the scale of preference. When it comes to life, every time you make a decision, you would have a scale of what are the things I really, really like, and then I would do opportunity cost, and some things will go. And when we talk, sometimes for a family to work, because we are both busy, we have a weekend out. So in a month, 2 weekends, Oga and Daddy are able, Daddy and Mommy have this time out because we know that we need time to connect with one another. For some, it is one weekend. This weekend, after work on Friday, we are driving to this hotel, and it is just a time for husband and wife to remember what it's like to be husband and wife. Nima said that our auntie advised her to have lunch once in a while. I used to schedule, after Yourview, I would drive and go and eat amala. For me, it is food lunch. It is opportunity to just be eating, and they know us at Olaya.
So
they know us at, yes, yeah. They know us at Olaya because we
pause. Let's take it one by one.
Wait.
You go to your husband, you do it in your husband's office.
No, they arrange for lunch.
Let the girl talk now.
Why do you want to hear this entire
Nima, wait. Let me help me understand. We want to get the picture right. So you leave your house, you drive to your husband's office.
And then they go somewhere else.
You go somewhere.
Lunchtime, and I'll give you
lunch. You take him, where do you take him for lunch?
to the hotel.
Really? Why isn't that cool?
Isn't that cool?
So you carry your husband to hotel.
So
during lunch break.
You don't know what they say about these people.
These Hijabite people. They are the worst of the world. Not them.
You know how to marry.
You just carry.
You know how to marry.
All this one. Inside, when they remove that hijab, they're different.
We carry husband for head.
Hey, okay, I'll come back to you now because you are saying you're taking your husband to
food for conversation.
Amala.
Because we're not talking.
Because
what I realize is we're so busy. I go out of the house in the morning. I come back. I am tired. I've slept. He comes back home. We don't talk. We can do 3 days not talking. When I realize 2 days we didn't really talk, it's just WhatsApp chats. That's the third day I'm eating amala with my husband. We will eat while we are eating, we'll gist what happened yesterday, what happened the first day, we're talking all through. Because it is extremely important that you remain friends. It's extremely important that you know each other. People have become roommates in marriage. You're not really married, you're just roommates. We come together.
Just friends,
the children
brother
are going to this place, the children are going to that place. The only conversation you have with your husband is about the children or bills. That's not what marriage should be about.
Let me take this call from Honor. It's calling from VI. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Hello, good morning.
Good
ladies.
morning.
Thank you. I'm so glad I've actually gotten you for the first time.
Glad to have you too.
Welcome.
Okay. So, concerning the topic for today, my contribution is this. People will give advice based on their own experience, their own background, for their own convenience, you know. I'll say the mother probably has had an experience or is trying to protect her daughter from unfortunate incidences in future.
Yeah.
You know, that is why she gave that advice to her daughter. The pastor, if you look at it, this man seems to be active in church. If she loses her job, her tithe and offering will be a very serious reduction in, you know, the church. So everyone is giving advice from their angle. Now, for this lady, what I have to say is this: I wouldn't advise that she would have left her job. She and her husband were supposed to have sat down together and thought of a way around the problem. Saturday, why does she have to be in the market all through Saturday? She could very well, on her way back from home, she picks things, she buys things, you know, from market, street traders, those street markets, you know, and gets home. Or if she's a bulk buyer, people have arrangements in offices where they get somebody to go to. When I was working, so there was this lady, a cleaner. She'll go and buy in bulk for everybody and bring to the office. We share. There are always ways around. But that thing of Sunday, that is one thing I absolutely... in fact, we are no longer serving God, because what God has said is that we should keep the Sabbath day holy by resting. So why will anybody be in church from morning till night?
From meeting to meetings.
Okay, thanks for... Let me go on a break. You see, we're going to go on a break now. When we come back, we're going to address two things: the banks, the churches, and religion. No, shopping, okay, church we can add that, because this our church thing is a serious matter.
Yes.
Stay with us, we'll be right back.
I have a friend. She...
Meetings or
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.